How's it going, everyone? This is Trick from Meta Smash, and I want to quickly let you guys know that I'm going to be hosting a Nail the Trick Combo Mastery Seminar. There's going to be over an hour of Nail the Trick content, so if you're interested, there'll be a link in the description. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So as far as talking about going for reads, if you're wondering how do I know you're going to roll and how I know you're going to jump, I can say that I didn't know that you would do that. It's more so that the average player would do that.
I see.
Right?
Okay.
The average player would roll away. And then I made a read, or they're both reads, on the roll and on the jump. But the average person would roll away, and then it's more so a 50-50 as far as if you would jump there or air dodge. I would say that if I have you in a state of panic, 95% of players, when they panic, they do jump. So when I went for the dash attack, I'll do it this way. If I went like this, and I jumped and went for a fair, if I go for this fair and you don't jump, and instead you just kind of fall down, then you don't get hit, obviously. But since I'm way up here, I'm not going to get hit either, and I can just drift back to the stage. So I can try and cover that for free. Going back to, I guess, to the reading part of things, if you know that I can go like this for free and not get punished, that means that I'm going to probably do that every single time unless you've adjusted. Okay, so if I go like this every single time and you stop jumping, then eventually I'm going to stop jumping. I'm going to stop covering that too. Instead of doing that, I probably go for this, try and cover you low, or depending where you are, I might go for something like that. Okay. You want to know both sides of, I guess, reading and layering. Okay. Reading is what I did in the first place. So let's say if I hit the roll away, layering would be for you to now know that since I covered your roll, if you're paying attention, you should be going for either a roll in next time or going for get up attack so that you don't get hit for rolling away a second time. And then I'd have to adjust to that. So if you roll in, let's say, if I go for a dash attack and then you roll in and I completely miss, next time I should go like this and turn around with an F smash, or I can jump back, go for a down air. Right, I could dash forward, dash back, go for an F smash, right, or go for like a grab or something, depending on whatever I want to do. Every single time something good or bad happens to you, you want to try and pay attention to that. And I will say it's a lot of things to pay attention to, but that's what makes the game difficult.
Yeah, it's just a different game, right?
100%. Right there, you lost your jump, right? I could have killed you, but I used my laser, just basically just to be nice. But you got to be careful there, right?
Okay. So you're saying there I should air dodge in?
Not air dodge in. You can just drift. Just use your aerial drift. Your aerial drift is still a move. People don't think of it as a move because it's just a control stick.
So like when I'm in the air and then just drift down or drift.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you jump with me, then yes, I can kill you or catch you with like an up air or like a down air, whatever, or a fair. But if you were to air dodge in like that, it's actually got a name for itself now. People are calling that the American air dodge, which is like a really bad thing, basically. So if you do this, instead of me going out here like this, all I have to do is just stand here like this and you air dodge right into it and die.
I see. Okay.
So I will say
instead I should just come in like that.
I would say wherever you feel like you have a sense of panic and whatever your natural instinct wants you to do, don't do that. Basically, if you think, oh my god, I have to like air dodge in, it's like that's the next part of layering. As far as if you're maybe a less experienced player, if you're thinking that this is a good idea, and it's not even like you personally, a lot of people do that, and that's why it's got its own name. But if people are doing that, a more experienced player will know, okay, so if he's afraid of jumping because he's getting caught, but he wants to get back to the stage, and he goes like this, all I have to do is just wait for you right here and go for an F smash or an up smash or like another grab or whatever I want, right? So I think the difficult part here is knowing, and this is the $1 million question, as to how do you know what you should be covering next when you're going for a read? A lot of people, they kind of just cover something, and if it works, it works. And if it doesn't work, then they say, okay, well, my read was wrong, therefore I don't know what I'm doing anymore. That's not really the case. Like, of course, here's the thing. A read is an educated guess, obviously. So if my educated guess is based on anything, it should be based on the entire population of Smash players. And then how does this person that I'm fighting against deviate from the average player? That's also how you can get a scale to say how good somebody is as a player, or how new they are as a player as well. So let's say we'll go back to the roll away example. So if I go for this dash attack you roll away, we keep on playing, whatever. That same situation happens again, and I go for a dash attack again. Let's say this time you go for a get up attack and you hit me. So I could say you adjusted to that, and I'd say, okay, this person is at least paying attention. So the next time, if you go for another get up attack, instead of me going for a dash attack, I run up to you and shield your get up attack, then I grab you. And let's say, okay, so if you're paying attention to that, let's say I dash up, shield, and go for a grab. Before I even go for my grab, next time, instead of going for a get up attack, you could do a neutral get up and you could either spot dodge or you could delay your options. So let's say you just lay on the ground, and when I dash up to you and shield, once I'm right beside you, then you roll away. So you're paying attention and you're having this back and forth, I guess almost like a chess match, because we have counterplay to the counterplay and it goes on forever.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So to do a normal get up, you just like tilt the stick up?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Okay.
And
Right.
as far as let's say if I'm going to we're going to continue this layering back and forth forever. If you're not an experienced player and you, let's say, I hit with a dash attack, you roll away. Next time I go for a dash attack and you roll away again. After that, I might think that I'm going to try and make a read here and say, okay, you're not going to roll away a third time. You're going to go for get up attack. So this time I run up and shield, but you roll away again anyways. For me as a player, I would say that you obviously have a roll away habit. And now I don't have to respect any other option. I can just go ahead and punish roll away every single time because you haven't shown me that you are paying attention to what I'm doing.
Oh, how did you not roll?
So once again, right there, I could say it was an educated guess on the fact that I was standing up close to the ledge. And just basics, just as far as, I guess, basic instinct, if you know that being close to me is danger and being far away from me is safety, then if I'm at the ledge, you're going to try and cross me up or get past me however you can, right? If you did a neutral get up right there, I still would have dashed back and went for a down tilt. I would have just completely missed, though. That's what a read is. I talk about this basically every single day. If you're going to go for a read, you want to be 100% confident in your read and also be totally okay with being 100% wrong. You don't want to go for half reads. Half reads, they don't really exist. Like a half read would be like dashing back and then going for a jab. It's like, I guess it's like it's committing to like an idea, but then saying, okay, I'm gonna go for like the safest, weakest thing I have just in case I'm wrong. It's not really a read, it's just like covering an option slightly. Like if you really want to be a stickler for it, then yes, you could say that it still is a read, because it is. I went where I went for a reason, but I should be going there with some confidence. Say, okay, I'm gonna go for like an actual kill move or an actual setup versus just like going at a jab. So for example, right there, I got 2 grabs in that sequence because as soon as you air dodged, you shielded, right? Roll away. Well, I shouldn't have jumped. But that's one of those things too, is that if I know you're going to air dodge and then shield, I can cover that with confidence in the read say I should go for a grab. Like, for example, right there, you could have air dodged in any direction, or you could have jumped or came down with nair, but I made the read that you're going to air dodge in towards the middle of the stage and away from me, right? So I covered one thing there, and I happened to be right, and there's like 10 things you could have done. That's just where experience comes into play. So it's not necessarily, it's not a skill, right?
So, when should I like be jumping or short hopping or just like, I guess, that type of movement, right? Like, what would be the best option to approach you, right? Like, I know like usually, I think in one of your videos you said like when someone attacks you or attack up close, you jump and then you could drift around and do a back air, or you could do a high jump and then come down with a aerial. I know that, but I guess when I'm having trouble with this, just kind of how to play often.
This is where, once again, the game becomes difficult and it becomes like reads, but also knowing how your character works. If you know what your character's combos are, as far as like getting down throws or landing with nairs or landing with fairs, so you can get grabs or get like multiple fairs in a row, or into like a dash attack. If you know those things, those are the things you want to try and land. But although those are the things that you want to land, you also have to try and you have to take into consideration what I am capable of as a player and also what my character is capable of. So if you are constantly trying to do like landing fairs, for example, because you want to get landing fair into grab or landing fair into multiple fairs, if I'm constantly doing rising fairs or dashing out of the way and going for dash attacks and covering you, then your game plan, I wouldn't say it falls apart, but you now have to deviate away from that game plan. It's a conversation between the two of us to say, okay, here's what I'm going to do and here's what I'm going to let you do. or here's what I'm going to try and stop you from doing. So it's the same thing for me. If I constantly want to go for side B to get my combo started, and you constantly run up and shield, then you get grabs and stuff, then I can't go for side Bs. Or if you're going for dash attacks, same thing. For your character, you have to know how they work, like I said, but also you have to pay attention to what I'm doing and try to play around that. This would be the idea of learning a matchup as well too. Yeah, as far as how can you get in, like what you said as far as like jumping in with nairs or fairs or going for like empty hops, like short hops or full hops, those, it's not wrong. It's more so the time and the place to know, okay, I should stop jumping in like this because every time you do, let's say you go like that, like you're getting caught for this. I'm going for a rising fair, you're doing landing fair, and I catch you first. Or I run up and go for an up smash and you jump right into it. It's the same thing with like when I was making reads for the roll away. So when I hit you with a dash attack and then you roll away from me, if you're constantly getting caught for the same thing, and this can be not just in a tech chase situation, but anywhere. If it's a tech chase situation, but also neutral, edge guarding, juggling situation, ledge trap, doesn't matter where it is, you should be paying attention to everything that happens that is good and bad. If you jump in with fair and I just, like, let's say I shield it and then I go for a grab because you went for like fair into forward tilt or fair into jab. As soon as you finish it on my shield, I go for a grab and I get a punish that I don't really deserve.